guys, I hope you're all well. Today I'm going to be doing this look for you. I never know how to start my intros, like this look, obviously it's this look. I don't really know what to call it at the moment though, but it's this. I used the one of the foiled shadows from Makeup Geek for the first time, which I really liked. I used a couple of new products too, from Gwen Stefani's line with Urban Decay, which are fab, the lipstick being one and the blush. But yeah, so if you like this look, then please keep watching. So first of all, I'm going in with this Jouer primer. I've totally said that wrong, I know, but I don't even know how you say it. So let me know how you pronounce it, because that is a bit lame of me not to know how to pronounce a brand. This is an anti-blemish primer, so it's got ingredients in that help to get rid of spots, I believe, or help like take inflammation away. For foundation, I'm going to go in with Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, and this is in the shade 6.5 because I've got my fake tan on. So I've just got back from New York, which was absolutely amazing. I went with Urban Decay. I felt like the luckiest girl in the world to be taken to New York with a brand. I felt so lucky, and I was so overwhelmed that I was asked. So I got to see the new Gwen Stefani collection, which is coming out, well, which should be out by now. Actually, no, I think it comes out 21st of January in the UK. But I'm going to use a couple of the products today. I'm going to use the blush and one of the lipsticks. They're so nice. For concealer, I'm using the Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer. And I'm sorry if you keep hearing the autofocus sound. I don't know if you can change it on this camera or not. So hopefully you can, but at the moment I haven't worked out how. So I hope you might not be able to hear it, but just in case you hear this like really weird sound, it's my camera. So I'm just popping that in the usual places, highlighting underneath the eyes, a bit in the middle of the forehead, the tip of my nose, Cupid's bow, and my chin. And then I'm just going to blend that out with my foundation brush. And to set that, I'm going to be using my Bare Minerals Well Rested Powder, which I adore. I'm just going to press that into the areas where we've concealed and highlighted, mainly under the eyes. I'm not too bothered about setting the other areas. I really must start using a different contouring powder, but for the moment I can't. I just love this Rodial one so much that I'm going to be using it again today. It's the Instaglam contouring powder, and I'm just going to chisel out my cheekbones. I'm going to bring a little bit around the top of my forehead. And down the sides of the temples. Under the chin. Just to contour that a little bit. Around the tip of the nose. And then I'm just going to put a little bit down the sides. Just to narrow it ever so slightly. This won't do too much because this isn't a precise enough contour to really chisel out that real shape, that nose. It's just a little contour. I'm now going to go in with the blush palette from Urban Decay and Gwen Stefani, which looks like this. Looks so nice, and it's just white and gold, which I just think is beautiful. And it looks like this. Oh my god, so beautiful. I'm going to be using that orange shade in the bottom corner on this side. What? This side? This one here. And it is called OC, Orange County. So I'm just going to pop this nice orangey blush on. which has a tiny hint of pink through it. To highlight, I'm going to be using Anastasia So Hollywood. And I'll pop that on the tops of the cheekbones. A bit on the Cupid's bow. And then down the bridge of the nose and the tip of the nose. I'm just going to grab a little stippling brush and just blend all of those together. For brows, I'm going to be using Anastasia Dip Brow in the shade Taupe, but I'm going to do this off camera because it just takes me a while. So I will be back in a second. So firstly, I'm going to go in with Peach Smoothie from Makeup Geek. If I use Makeup Geek shadows, or if I do an eye look where I'm not using just a palette, I always tend to use this eyeshadow as just a nice start, because I feel like it's not really a transition shade. Well, it is. It's a transition shade, but it's such a light shade. It just then helps the transition shade to blend in with the rest of the shades. I don't know. I just like using it to start. Gets me started. And I'm just applying this with an E40 brush from Sigma. And I'm just going backwards and forwards in window wiper motions, I couldn't even think of the word then, and then in circular motions to blend it all together. I'm now going to go in with Creme Brulee on that same brush, and this is just a little step, like a little bit darker. I'm just going to go in the same place. Just to gradually deepen that area. I think with not all eyeshadow looks, but a lot of eyeshadow looks, it's just about deepening everything and just gradually making everything blend together and not going in with just one shade. If you want to do a nice dramatic eye or something a bit special, always gives it that something extra, I think, if you add all these different layers. Now on an E25 brush from Sigma, I'm now going in with the shade Latte, and I'm just going to pop this through the crease. This is a matte brown. So now we're starting to deepen just the crease area. And I just like to flick up a little bit at the outer corner, just to open up the eye. So I like to start at the outer corner when I pop it in the crease, and then go towards the inner corner, because then it will be lighter on the inner corner, because the outer corner will have the majority of the shadow on it. Work backwards and forwards, just like we did with the big brush, but just using the smaller brush this time. Now with a smaller brush, this is like a real detailer brush. It's like tapered at the end, it's really small. This is a Morphe M507 brush. I'm going to go in the shade Barcelona Beach. Now this is a bit darker than Latte, and I'm going to pop that into the crease. Again, starting at the outer corner. This is a bit cooler, this shade. And running it towards the inner corner. Now I'm going to go into the inner corner first and bring it to the outer corner. So I've just contradicted myself there, but I just want the crease to be a little bit darker, like all over, not just on the outer corner. I want the whole crease to be a bit darker. And then kind of I'm just going to flick up a little bit with it, just to flick it into the other shades that we've got above it, just slightly. This brush is so good because it doesn't make it choppy. Like sometimes it can go quite choppy and quite messy and it takes a while to blend, but it really smoothly glides the eyeshadow on, which is fab. Now to blend that in with the other colours, I'm going to use the E25 brush again, just to make sure that there's no obvious line. I'm going to go in with a foiled shadow from Makeup Geek. It's the first time I'm using it, and it's called Grandstand, and it's this beautiful colour. It's like a browny coppery colour, just like antique-y kind of colour. Real gorgeous shade. So I'm going to pop that onto the base of the lid. I'm going to be using a MAC 242 brush, and that is very, very gorgeous. It's very metallic, which is what we want, but it might be even more metallic if you put like some Fix Plus or wet the brush. Maybe some Fix Plus will be good. But I'm just going to use it dry today. because I want to see what the actual shade is like. It's got a slight touch of champagne to the colour, I think. Like a bit rosy. And just keep applying the shadow until you're happy with how pigmented and metallic it looks, because obviously if you don't use as much shadow, it will just be a wash of colour as opposed to a nice metallic finish. To make a statement on the inner corner of the eye, I'm going to go in with Cosmic from Urban Decay. And on the brow bone, I'm just going to go in with Shroom from MAC. Just going to grab one of my blending brushes again and just make sure that's all blended together. On the lower lash line, I'm going to be using a pencil brush. This is an E30, and I'm going to be using Barcelona Beach again. And I'm just going to run that along the lower lash line and connect it with the shadow at the top. And then I'm just going to blend it out with my E25 brush. For liquid eyeliner, I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Master Ink in Matte. And I'm just going to create a wing. Okay, for mascara today, I'm going to go in with the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. And I'm going to do the top and bottom lashes. I'm not going to wear false eyelashes today, so I'm going to put a few coats of this on. Although you don't need much because it does make your lashes so full. It is a really big wand though, so it's quite hard to do the bottom lashes. Not hard, but I mean, it's not... You've got to be quite, watch what you're doing because you don't want to smudge it everywhere. Now if you're like me and get mascara on your eyelid, on your face somehow, I always tend to do this. What I do is wait for it to dry and then I'll get a cotton bud or a Q-tip, whatever you want to call them, and I would wipe it away and it'll just flake off. So don't panic and don't get like all the makeup wipes out and have to start again. Just wait for it to dry and get a cotton bud. I'll get one in a moment, but I'm just going to let that dry. First of all, I'm going to do my lips. Now, I'm going to be using two of the new products from Urban Decay. So the first product, I'm kind of have to put my hand there. The first product I'm going to be using is this lip liner from Urban Decay, a new one. And it is their Rocksteady lip liner, which is the collaboration with Gwen Stefani. Sorry that wouldn't focus, that was doing my head in. And it's this gorgeous red, it's like a deep red. Now I'm going to go in with the lipstick, which is called Rocksteady. So now my lipstick's on, I've let the mascara dry under my eyes, which I got my little cotton bud, and I'm just going to flake it away. And it's gone. So that's the final look, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already and give it a little like if you enjoyed it. I really like this look. I really like this lipstick. It's really nice. And it feels really nice on the lips as well. It doesn't feel drying or anything. It's really like smooth, so that's good. And I'm really pleased with how this eyeshadow came out. I hadn't used the metallic shadows or whatever, the foiled shadows from Makeup Geek before, so I'm really impressed with them. I want to try them with some Fix Plus or something next time, just to see if it comes out even more metallic. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how this look came out. I hope you enjoyed it too. So thank you so much for watching. I will speak to you soon, but in the meantime, have a great day. Why have I got lipstick on my teeth?